Hello and welcome to another BlenderWiz video tutorial. In this tutorial we will be finishing off the back end of the car. This will include finishing the model, cutting out the trunk lid, and finally modeling a quick bumper. I want to begin this section by doing two quick repairs, or cleaning two things up. So right here, I can't remember if we fixed this last time, but it's not fixed on mine, so let's do it right now. And if you see, there is a gap between the body and this headlight bezel. So this doesn't look very good. So quickly, just hit E to extrude, scale that in. Let's go into front view mode, orthographic. Just scale it in like so, and then create a loop cut, and that will close that up and make it look much better. The next part I want to fix is right down here under the door. Instead of being curved, it kind of becomes flat. So let's just create a loop cut right there. Right in the middle is fine. Deselect those two vertices up there and just pull that out along the X a little bit. We may need to do a little bit of work. Actually, let's undo that. I want to delete those two faces, create the loop cut there, maybe pull that out now, and that'll just kind of pull down the crease a little bit so that it's not at the corner of the door. And then we can just pull these vertices out along the Y once and twice and just fill in those faces there. We have to pull that out a little bit along the X, and that should be fine. I also think that pulling this on along, or those guys in along the Y, is going to help things up a bit. So now if we bring up the tool menu, we can hit remove doubles and do that again. And that will just get rid of those creases and leave a nice clean looking body line there. So the first thing I want to get into is taking this back plate here along the quarter panel and just aligning it with the back of the reference. So to do this, just hit S to scale, Y, and then 0, and that will just align all of these vertices. Then take up the top fin and align it there. Go into top view mode, take that and align it like so. Just do that with the rest of the vertices. Oops. Just try to align it with the reference. Okay, so that's looking good. Next, what we want to do is, looking here at the back tail fin, we can see that we have a loop cut here, but no corresponding loop cut on the other side. So let's go ahead and create that. So hit Control R and just create a loop cut. And if we tab out, we can see that it really has very little effect on the end result. However, we do still want to do it to the door, just so that things line up nicely. Next, we also want to create a loop cut down the middle, just to square things up a little bit. And once again, do that to the door. Okay. So going into back view mode by hitting Control and then 1 on the number pad, let's just use this line here to line everything up. Okay. Or to, yeah, square everything up. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. However, we don't need that one yet. We don't want that one yet, actually, because we still need one more section, like so. Okay. Okay, so that's looking good. Before we go further, let's hide the hood, the bumper, and the headlight bezel. Yeah, the bezel. And oops. Look at the taillight. Just like the headlight, the taillight's a circle. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a circle instead of trying to model one. So let's just align our 3D cursor at the place of the tail lamp. Create a circle. Set it to 8 vertices if it's not already. Come over to the modifiers and turn off clipping. Rotate the circle by 90 degrees, and let's just scale it down to fit the tail light. Now, on my model, the tail light is not positioned where it is in the reference. It's actually positioned out in this cutout, which works much more nicely from tests that I've done. So I'm just going to move my tail light over a little bit more. Okay. So let's just bring this vertex down now. Oops. Line it up. Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead now and hide the front part of the car. That way, all we see are these vertices that we're working with, and nothing is getting in the way. So let's just bring that one down, and then connect it there. Let's bring this one down, and then connect that there. Down, connect. Okay. Now, of course, these aren't aligned nicely. If you go into side view mode, you can align them a little bit better. Let's bring them down to a similar point. Okay. Let's fill in those vertices there. We're actually going to also want let's delete these. We want to scale this up a little bit, like so, and just bring it back along the Y. And then I want to bring this up just to give it a nice little bezel as well, just to make it look nicer. Okay, there we go. Let's finish up on our fin there. Okay. That looks pretty good. We can align that like so. Connect those ones up over there. Pretty good. 34. These line up nicely. Then, let's see, we can bring this one across on the X. Create a little cut there. That looks good. Okay. However, oops, not the calculator. If we go into top view mode, we can see that these back vertices here are actually at the back of the car. So we may just want to bring that in a little bit. Oops. Right, like so. Let's bring that, pull that back, pull this one back. Let's go along the X. Oh yeah, turn clipping back on if you haven't done so already. There we go. So that's looking good. Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off or hide the rear rear reference because right now it's just kind of getting in the way. Okay, like that. And then fill those vertices in. Let's set the whole thing to smooth again. Okay. Okay. And the back is actually pretty much flat. So I'll just leave it as that. Okay. And then don't like how this is all laid out right now. Let's turn that rear back on. Okay. Come on. Yeah, I don't know if I want this looping around like that because we really have no reason to have it do that. So let's just break that face right there. Fill in like so. And then we can just pull this down again. Oops. There we go. Actually, right down here, I'm probably just going to pull this out along the Y, just so that we get this nice little bump out that will eventually connect to the bumper. Let's just pull that across. Okay, so there's the back of the car. In this next bit of this tutorial, we are going to be cutting out the trunk for our car. So looking here, we can see that the closest vertices to resembling this shape run along here, actually run along here, and then run along there. So everything inside of there will become our trunk. Let's start arranging these vertices so that they actually line up a little bit better though. So take those edge vertices here, hit Control E, edge slide, and just align that like so. Let's go and bring these vertices down, and then let's take these vertices, pull them in along the X. Oops. Pull that one in along the X. Okay. Let's align these ones as well. Pull that up along the Z. And now let's take everything that makes up our trunk and separate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do just as we did on the door jambs and solidify it a little bit. Although I think I want to do a little bit more work back here first. So just pull that, oops. Pull that back. Okay. That should be good. Okay. So just as we did for the door jambs, nothing new. No, come on. Okay, just stick in an edge loop, sharpen things up a little bit more. Take the back of the car, hide that. Oops. Hide the car. And then do the same for the back of the trunk. Pull that down. And give that a loop cut as well. And there we have a trunk. In this portion of the tutorial, we are going to be working on the bumper. So let's go ahead and import a plane. Delete half of it. Let's add a modifier, the mirror modifier. Turn on clipping, and we'll go to work from there. It's just aligning that to the back of the car. We will go across, pull that in, and then just extrude to recreate the shape. Let's also pull that up so it's even with the vehicle. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Now we just need to select the outline, like so. Hit E and Z to extrude down. We need to pull this back and back a little bit more, like so. Let's take the whole thing, extrude it up, and scale it down along the Y. Okay, like so. And this is just a fairly quick bumper we're making here, not anything too fancy. Just pull that in along the Y, pull this one in along the Y, and that looks pretty good. Let's even this up a bit. Throw in a modifier. Oh, right in here we need to figure out what's going on. Seems that it separated right inside with a face, which isn't what we want. So delete the extra faces. Let's go and delete those faces there. Let's actually hide the body for right now while we do the little bits of repair. Okay, delete that edge right there. And then let's unhide it. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and fix that quickly now. Set it to smooth shading and have it recalculate the shading. There's a quick bumper. Of course, there's still more we can do to it to make it look better. So let's just do that now. If we pull this over, There we go. So that's a fairly quick bumper. Looks decent. However, it does appear that it is missing some detail that it needs. So let's work on that now. So we have two, I'm not sure what they are. They look almost like lights in the back, at least on this reference. My model doesn't actually have it. However, it does come up. I'm going to leave out these lights in the back because I don't see them on my model. But we can just take this back portion here, pull that up, and that creates that upper part. And then on my model, I have this little bit that comes down like so, and it creates kind of where the license plate goes. I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit more right in there. And that bumper is looking pretty good. Okay. Next, what I actually want to do, because on my model I have a spare wheel back here actually, and I kind of want to create that. So let's unhide the body of the car, delete these vertices here, do a cursor to selected on that middle vertice back there, create a circle. I'm just going to give it 8 vertices, rotate it by 90 degrees. Let's scale it down to right about, I don't know, there should be fine. Let's pull it up along the Z, delete those extra vertices here. Let's see. I'm going to duplicate that, rotate it 90 degrees along the Z, just to make sure that a wheel could actually fit in it. Let's rotate it around the Y by 180, and it looks like a wheel could actually fit, so that is good. Okay. Pull that back like so. Let's merge those. Okay. Let's delete those extras right there. Extrude it out along the Y. Connect like so. Let's pull that out. And there we go. We have a nice little spare wheel right there now. Let's tighten up some of these vertices. And I'm just going to merge these vertices like so. And a few more. Okay. Let's set that to smooth shading. We've got a little bit of an issue up there. Recalculate, and should be good to go. Now you do probably notice that the inside here could use a little bit of work. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. Basically doing the exact same thing again. that'll probably take longer. Okay, and then if we unhide that, no one will ever notice that in fact the bumper is hollow, and it looks pretty good. Oh, also, let's go ahead and delete this extra little loop there. In the next episode of this series, we'll be working on the small details of the car. This includes the vents on the side, the emblem, and the door handles. We will also create a basic frame for under the car. This will help create a nice clean shadow under the car, as well as making the car feel more solid by not allowing the viewer to see through it. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. If you didn't, please leave a comment letting me know what I can improve. Thank you for watching.